Our top story here tonight, Fleet Farm is accused of withholding key evidence from the state of Minnesota in an ongoing lawsuit involving firearm sales.
The retailer is being sued by the state for not doing enough to stop illegal straw purchases and selling guns that turned up at crime scenes across the Twin Cities. Fox 9 investigator Nathan O'Neal explains why those internal corporate records are so crucial.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is now demanding more evidence from Fleet Farm after they found out about a key document that wasn't initially turned over. The state believes that document points to the company's negligence and shows Fleet Farm knew or should have known it was selling guns to a straw buyer.
Getting information from the gun industry is hard. You know, this is information that is very precious and hard to come by.
Attorney General Keith Ellison recently spoke to the Fox 9 investigators about his ongoing lawsuit against Fleet Farm. How critical is that discovery phase?
It's really key. It'll help us determine what really happened.
Ellison filed the state's lawsuit in 2022, a year after the mass shooting at the Truck Park Bar in downtown St. Paul. 14 people were injured, and 27-year-old Markeisha Wiley was killed. The ATF later traced one of the guns used in that deadly shooting back to Jerome Horton Jr. Horton was eventually convicted of running a straw purchasing operation in which he bought dozens of firearms for other people from stores across the Twin Cities metro. 24 of those guns came from Fleet Farm locations.
There were telltale signs that were right in front of them.
The lawsuit claims Fleet Farm disregarded, quote, blatant warning signs, like multiple purchases of similar handguns, buying sprees, and staggered visits to different locations.
They ignored them and sold guns to gun traffickers, and some of those guns hurt people.
Fleet Farm has denied the allegations in Minnesota's lawsuit, but new court filings reveal Fleet Farm, quote, belatedly produced a key document written by a former Fleet Farm manager. The AG says the details in that document, which have been redacted, show, quote, Fleet Farm knew or should have known that Horton was a straw buyer by at least July 31st, 2021. That's the same day Horton purchased this handgun at the Fleet Farm in Blaine, which was later used by one of the shooters in the Truck Park Bar shooting in St. Paul. Other court records reviewed by the Fox 9 investigators show Horton would go on to purchase nearly a dozen more guns at Fleet Farm locations. Yet the AG says Fleet Farm, quote, failed to take action. The Attorney General is now asking a federal judge to compel Fleet Farm to hand over even more evidence and to extend the timeline to get this done. We also reached out to Fleet Farm for comment on this story, but have not heard back. For the Fox 9 investigators, I'm Nathan O'Neal.
You can read more about straw gun purchases and the ongoing investigation into Fleet Farm by visiting our website, fox9.com.